A big hello from me, welcome back to Paul Rolls Dice and welcome to another video. And today we begin a new adventure in that galaxy far, far away. We are playing Star Wars, The Mandalorian Adventures by Unexpected Games. Now this game was designed by Corey Konezka with help from Josh Bepler. Corey Konezka is a fantastic games developer, games designer. I've played many of his games over the years. Throughout his tenure at Fantasy Flight Games, you've probably heard me talking about some of them. Star Wars Outer Rim, The Lord of the Rings, Journeys in Middle-earth, but this is the latest one, a game of daring missions for 1 to 4 players. Now this is going to be a learn by doing playthrough, as I did with the Metal Gear Solid board game, so let's jump into it. Here we go. Episode 1, Bounty on Arvala 7. There is one job. Direct commission. Deep pocket, of course. I have a Camtono Beskar waiting for you upon delivery of the asset. Alive, of course. Although I acknowledge.
Bounty hunting is a complicated profession.
Okay, with the narrative out of the way, we can actually get to setting up Mission 1 Bounty on Arvala 7. So, starting on this side of the book, we have the information on the characters we will be using, which is the Mandalorian and IG-11. We have the objective, which is capture the asset. A character in the asset space found on the triangle threat at the end of any player's turn. That's how we win. The asset will be in one of these two tokens here. And the cool thing about this game is every token is numbered for the mission. So because this is mission 1, we know this is for this map. So we shuffle these and we will place these on the spaces on the board corresponding to the shape. And if it's a question mark, it means you just place them face down. So those are done. Next, we will move on to the circle tokens. Again, we will shuffle them. They are question marks and we will fill the board, all of the question marks face down until we've used all of these. We'll then do the same with the square tokens, but the difference with the square tokens is these aren't actually question marks. So we will populate all of the spaces, but flip them over. These are going to be the enemies, the encounters of the map. And the final pile of tokens are the reinforcements. Now, these don't start on the board. Certain mechanics in the game will ask us to populate these star locations, which are reinforcement spawn points. So when we do that, we will draw a token, flip it over, place it onto the tile. So that's all of the tokens. Next, we will take a look at the decks. This is the threat deck, so we'll give this a shuffle and we'll explain what these decks do as we're playing, because we are doing a learn by playing kind of thing. We'll then shuffle the dual deck. This is a new feature added in with the Mandalorian Clan of 2 expansion, and because we are playing the full narrative playthrough version, which they've also updated with the expansion pack, these are now in the base game too. And then we will shuffle the plan deck, same again. We'll be drawing from these as we're playing the game. Finally, final pieces of tokens will be the move, attack, intel, and plan spaces. Now, we have disrupt tokens. They both look the same on the back, but during setup, we shuffle the grey coloured ones together and we randomly place them on each of these spaces. So we will get all 5 of these, we will give them a little mix, and then we will populate these spaces. I think they range from 1 to 3. 3 is quite big, which isn't a good thing, but it's okay. And then this will get shuffled into the general supply at the side of the board. Now we have some additional map rules up here. Bunker access. During your action step, you may take a door control feature found on one of the circle tokens and place it here. This is going to be how we open this door to actually get to the asset, to find the baby Yoda, to find Grogu, to actually complete this. So as we're going around and we're interacting with tokens, this will progress. That is the setup. We've done everything we need to do with the guide deck. I should have stated first, normally we would flip this, read the information, which is begin the first game for your first game, play mission 1. This serves as a good tutorial to learn the basic rules. Follow the setup instructions on page 2 to 3 of the rulebook, which I've done here. If playing this mission solo or with more than 2 players, you'll need to share characters, which we are doing. And then we discard that from the guide deck and we will hit another stop. After you win your first game, win or lose, flip this. So we won't read that until we finish this mission. And that is the setup. Okay, let's begin turn one. So first of all, we draw 4 cards from our shuffled deck. Okay, we have 3 IG cards and 1 Mandalorian. Strength 2, Strength 1, Strength 1, Strength 4 with a bonus plan. Now, we kind of don't want to just dive straight in and go gung-ho right now. Maybe it's best to start planning and prepping what we need to do. We know the objective. We need to find little baby Yoda, little Grogu, the asset in one of these 2 tokens here. So, how it works, as we mentioned in the setup as well, is we get to play 1 card to one of the slots, but you can only put 1 card per turn on a particular space, and we get to play 2 cards. It can either be 2 from IG, 2 from Mando, or a mix. So, I think, first of all, IG is going to place a card into the plan, which means the threat is now at 2 at the end of the round, and this allows us to draw an additional planning card. So draw number of planning cards equal to the number on the card, which would be 1. This is a bonus of 1, so we'll draw 2. And we get to look at both of them and keep one of them and put the other on top of the deck or discard it. So they're both mobilise, so we'll take one of the mobilise. Discard this during your action step to move up to 2 spaces, ignoring enemy abilities. That is really cool. That will negate these characters with the Overwatch symbol. And Overwatch, again, is if you end a move within 1 space of an enemy, they automatically deal 1 point of damage to you. And with the planning cards, each of the characters can have 1 of each type of plan. So I can only have 1 mobilise on IG, 1 defense, 1 whatever else there is. I think I'm going to put that to the top because that's a decent card for Mando to maybe grab as well. So we've done 1 action. We have 1 left. Mando's got a very powerful 4, but I don't feel like we want to use that just yet. That's a bit of a wasted one. That's a plan one as well, meaning if we do use it in there, we would get this plus the planning ability. Maybe IG just kind of sets up right now. Maybe Mando stays behind. So I think IG is going to go 1, 2. So that is a move. That is the end of the actions. So we will draw back up to the 4. So we keep those 2. We've got a Mando card and we have an IG. So we're into round number 2 because no events triggered because nothing is at 5. And no crisis triggered because we're not at 6 as well. Okay, next round. Now, does IG go straight in? This guard here has got 1 point of health and you can attack something within range 1. So, because we're not really going to be using emergency repairs, I think we could use this as an attack. So, for 1 point of damage, we're going to hit this enemy. The enemy will then die. He will then be discarded into a pile. That's 1 action done. We have an action remaining. And we've used attack for this round. So we can't place anything in attack, but we have some other cards. Calculated risk. So for intel, deal yourself 1 damage to perform a free 3 strength action of your choice, even if you've already performed it now. That would be pretty cool if we had an enemy near us, but we don't. So I think Mando is going to use this intel. So this is going to put it at 5 total, but we'll get there in a minute. So when we place something into intel, secretly look at a face-down threat within range of the card you've played, or choose an enemy within that range and move it 1 space. So up to 4 spaces away. 1, 2, 3, 4. We could take a look at this token, or could take a look at this token. I think because IG's heading that way, we'll take a look at this one. So because we're playing solo, we get to flip it and we all get to look at it. Normally when you're playing this, you can look at it, but you can't show your teammates. You can only kind of convey what it might be. So this is a melee enemy with 5 health. He is an absolute tank. Now, we know for future reference, we can also make attacks against face-down tokens. If it's an enemy, we flip it, we deal damage. If we hit something and we flip it and it's not an enemy, nothing happens, essentially. So, that is the 2 cards done. We now go on to the event assessment. This is on 4, this is on 3, this is on 5, so we trigger an event and we go across until they are all done. So, this is on 5, meaning we will flip this. And this symbol gives us an idea of what is going to flip or what is going to activate. So we have trapped. We spawn a reinforcement on the nearest star space. So it's either of these, to be fair. So we'll spawn him there. We'll flip him over. He's a ranged guy with power 3. Then 3 melee units are going to move 3 spaces towards us. No attacks, but this number dictates how many will move. And then we'll get to the bottom of this. These can sometimes trigger. These are from the expansion. So then, when you play a skill card here, disrupt this action. Ooh, okay. So we'll do this first. So up to 3 melee units are going to move 3. We're going to go with this guy first. Because they're the same distance away, we can choose where they go. So I think we should move 1 into Mando. 1, 2, 3. He's not going to attack though. And do we have any more? We've got another melee unit just here. So he's going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. And there's no limit to how many tokens can be in a space. No more melee units to activate. So then we clear all of these, including this token, which gets rid of that. This will then go into our deck discard pile just here. And then we need to pop this under the map. Or actually pop it like that. There we go. So this is now going to be in play until we resolve another event on Intel. So every time we play a skill card here, we've got to disrupt this action. And disrupting means we take one of these tokens randomly. They're all upside down and mixed off to the side. And we will place a token into there. Meaning this is going to trigger an event or a crisis a lot quicker than it normally would. But we're okay for now. So the next time we play a skill card, we've got to disrupt it as well. Okay. What next? And because we've used 2 cards for this round, we did the event there. That's the turnover. We'll then draw back up to the 4. So we draw 2 more cards. We have. So this is hand for now. Let's have a look. Ooh, 1 Mando card, 3 IG. Now Mando is in a space with a bad guy with health 2. I feel like we are going to have to do an attack. Now, we do have an attack card for Mando. When it's placed in attack, we get this. Instead of performing this action, deal 3 damage to a threat at exactly range 3. Now, is there anything at exactly range 3? No, there isn't. So that isn't actually any good for Mando. And because we're starting a turn with an enemy in the space, we can actually move out of it. So I think we're going to have to. I think IG is going to have to come and kind of help us here. So we're going to use, that's already on 4, so an event is going to trigger. We've got calculated risk. Should we get him to move? Draw their fire. So this would be a move 2, but with the bonus at the bottom. Deal yourself 1 damage to deal 2 damage to a threat within range 1. Use this before resolving enemy abilities. That is insane. We are going to use draw their fire, so we're going to stack that there. We get to move 2. So IG is going to move into the space. Then we trigger this. Deal yourself a point of damage, which I will do. So IG takes a point. We're down to 7 health. Deal 2 damage to a threat within range 1. Use this before resolving enemy abilities. So this guy has no abilities to resolve. 2 damage will kill him. So that means he is dead. That was only 1 action card as well, which is really cool. But he got to do an attack. So now we get to do other things with these in our hand. I think we're going to save this because that is a very powerful attack card for Mando. But Mando, again, can't really do anything. And we know we are drawing IG for the next turn as well. So we kind of need to cycle through these cards a little bit. So we've done a move. So we can't actually do any kind of movement right now. Okay, you know what? I think I'm going to activate IG's Mobilize. Discard this during your action step to move up to 2 spaces, ignoring enemy abilities. I'm going to discard that. That can go into a discard pile there. IG then gets to move out, which is superb. 1, 2, and we still have a card to play. I think we could go for a plan again, maybe. Or Intel. So we looked at this one. This is a melee unit. Remember, we are trying to find these bunker access tokens as well. So looking at these face down tokens is quite powerful. Okay. That is a big attack. What's Mando going to do? 1, 2, 3. It's only a power 3. IG, what shall we do? What shall we do? I'm saving that because those bad guys are together. Yeah, we're going to use... I think we're just going to use calculated risk on intel. So, problem is, when we play this, when you play a skill card here, we have to disrupt this action. So, we grab one of these face-down tokens. Oh. Right, we've got one. It is a 2. So, that puts it to a total of 5, meaning an event will trigger. But we've thrown it on intel, so we also get this as well. Deal yourself 1 point of damage to perform a free 3-strength action of your choice. We don't need to do that. We just want the intel, so something up to a number of spaces away. So I'm going to look at this one. We're going to flip it. Now, that is some health. When we land on this, we can heal damage. And there's very, very few ways to heal damage in this game, so that's actually quite potent. So we're going to keep that there. We don't need to do anything with that. Again, we've played 2 action cards. We now go to the event step. So for each action slot, we total its strength. So first of all, this is 6. We are going to trigger a crisis. And a crisis on Bounty on Arvala is place a damage token here. So we'll pop one there. When 3 tokens are here, remove them and spawn 1 reinforcement in the star space with the fewest enemies. So we're okay for now. We then go to the event. So this first, then this. Because it's 6, 5+. We will trigger this. All ranged units are going to move 1 space. So we'll start up here. Not him. None of those. This guy will move a space and he can move. He's got to move out this way. So he's going to move there. He's going to move there. And he will move there. So they've all moved. Then 1 unit will attack at range 2. Nothing's in range 2. So that doesn't trigger, but the bottom will, if no enemy attacked. So because they didn't attack, first of all, we will get rid of all of these. So they go to discard, that goes back into the random pile, but then this will now sit here. When you play a skill card here, draw a dual card. Reduce your card's strength by its tough value during this action. Now, duels are new again. We've added them right here. These are from the expansion pack, and as I said in the setup, the expansion pack has added tons of new content to the base game as well as running through what we are doing now, which is the full campaign playthrough, which will take us through Season 1 and Season 2 of The Mandalorian. So, we've got this on here now. When we play a card there, we will draw a dual card and we'll resolve it. We move over. This is on 3. No issue. We move over. This is on 5. This means an event will trigger. So, because an event is triggered, we get to discard, including this. So that goes into the trash. This goes into our discard pile. This disappears, and we will trigger an event. And we have 1 melee unit moves 3 spaces, a ranged unit moves 2, and a sniper moves 1. So, melee unit to move 3. We choose this, so it's the closest one. It's going to be this guy. He's going to move into IG's space. Then a ranged unit will move 2 spaces, which will be this guy. So 1, 2. And then a snipery guy will move 1 space. I'd assume it would be this guy. No attacks, but that is now done. Next, we are on plan. Only 2. Nothing happens. That's the end of that. We will now draw back up to 4. And we continue again. We are on the action step. Same again. We only have 1 card for Mando. 3 for IG. Right. We need to do some stuff. IG's got a very powerful card with 4 damage. When performing this action, split the damage as you choose between 2 threats within 1. Now, we don't have to do that if we don't want, but I think we do need to get rid of this bad guy. So, it is going to cause a crisis, but IG's going to go first. We're hitting for 4 points of damage. Melee guy is dead. Pow pow. Okay. Ooh, we have done an attack, so Mando can't do anything again this turn. Mando's kind of not getting to do anything right now, but it's fine. It's fine. We've got a power 1. Right, we're going to put this into planning. It allows us to look at the top card. We already know where it is, and we can equip it. So, he now has a mobilize. Right, do we want to activate mobilize now, or do we keep it? Because we know this is health. IG's taken a point. I don't feel like we need to waste the healing just yet. But no, so those are the 2 turns done. 2 actions done. We will now resolve the events as always. Nothing. This is on 6, so this is going to trigger a crisis. Then we will trigger an event and get rid of those. So those go into our discard pile. Event triggers. Ranged enemy attack something at up to range 2. Right, okay, so we have a ranged guy here 2 spaces away. And how the range rules work in this game is you cannot count range through locked doors or walls, but you can count them at an angle, meaning this, if we look at the card, the blaster pistol chap just here can count 2 spaces to IG-88, which, as strange as it looks, I know this is a solid wall, but it's like peering around a corner, so he gets to peek around a corner and deal damage to me. I'm sure that's how I've worded it in the rulebook. I know it looks really funky. If there's anyone watching the video and you've got the actual answer, that is awesome. We will update it for the next mission, but for now, that is how I've read it, so he can actually hit IG around the corner, meaning IG takes a point of damage, so we'll flip it over to a 2. Oof! Now, this healing here will heal 1 point of health, so we know that's there just in case. So that's done. We then go over to the rest of the board. Nothing is at crisis or event, so we will draw 2 cards and we will move on to the next round. Okay, so now the Mando has a couple of things he can do. Mando kind of needs to attack. So what I'm going to do is, Mando is going to use this card here. It's got an attack 3, and remember, normally we would hit something at range 0 or 1, but the Amban Phase Pulsar Blaster allows us to do something different. Instead of performing this action, deal 3 damage to a threat at exactly range 3. These are exactly range 3. He's got 3 health. He is now dead. He is in the bin. 1 card done. Right, we have another card. What shall we do? That is a very, very good planning card, but it would cause a crisis and we would spawn an enemy. So at the minute, I don't think we're going to do this. I think Mando's going to use Tracking Fob. So we get to look at a token up to 4 spaces away. Now, we know what these are, so we're not really going to be doing much with it. Intel is move 1 space, ignoring enemy abilities. So it just allows Mando to get a little bit of movement. So I think we can do this in any order. So we can look at a token 4 spaces away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're not really going to get any benefit of that. I just kind of wanted to get some movement on Mando because he's been sat at the back doing nothing. So we now go to Crisis and Events. Nothing, 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 nothing. We go on to the next round. We draw 2 cards. Okay, so we have that one, Beskar Armor. Instead of performing this action, search the planning deck and discard pile for a defend card, then take it, then shuffle deck. So that allows us just to grab some armor just in case we get hit. That could be a really good shout for Mando. So I think, you know what, we're going to use that right now. So we're going to put that on planning. We are going to search the deck. We are going to take a defend card, and then we are going to shuffle the deck. That's pretty cool. So let me just read what defend does. When you are dealt damage, discard this to block 1. So Mando's got that equipped. That is superb. Very good, very nice. We've got 1 more card we can play. I think IG is going to use Mobilize. So we're going to discard that. We're going to move up to 2. We get to flip the token, and we are going to use it. So healing activates. We heal a point of damage. There we go. But we still have a card to play. We've done an attack, so we can't do that. Or did we do it? No, we didn't attack last round. We've only done planning this round, so we could put a card on attack. What shall we do? Now, we can shoot through this. This is elevation, so as mad as this sounds, we can hit this guy if we have range. So if we had range 4, we could go 1, 2, 3, 4. I know it sounds funky, but I think we're going to do that. We're going to... Or, we know this is a bad guy, and it's quite a powerful bad guy. So how about... We can't hit that one. It's not range 4, ignore me, friends. It's damage 4. We've got to be 1 space away. What shall we do? What shall we do? Nobody's moved just yet. But if we move, we do have to draw a dual card. Okay. I think the best thing to do would be... And we've done plan. we are just going to have to move out, guys. We are just going to have to get things going. Mando is going to use this, so we're going to pop that there, and we will move a space. But because we've played a card here, draw a dual card, reduce your card's strength by its tough value during this action. Ooh, okay, so we need to draw this now and reduce this card's strength. So we might go down to 0, we'll see. Okay, so we don't resolve any of the other duels because we're not actually doing one of the legendary duels just yet, but we are just reducing our strength of the card by this number, then we discard it. So we reduce our power by 1, meaning we don't get to do anything, and then we will discard that dual card there. I'm looking forward to those actually coming into play. They are sounding really, really cool, like adding cinematic combat to the game itself. So that's our actions done. We now move on to the events. Move is okay, attack is okay, intel is okay, plan is okay. Nothing stressful happens. We will draw 2 cards, 2 more IG cards. Right, we have a 2, we have a calculated risk, we have a big damage one. Okay. Right, what do we want to do here? We kind of need to move. I think we're going to use this calculated risk for IG on move, but again we have to draw a dual card and reduce the power by the number. We reduce it by nothing. That is awesome. We get to move up to 3 spaces. I think we're going to move into this space here. So we've moved in, and now we are going to attack. I don't want to use a massive card, so I'm just going to use a 2 attack on this guy here. He's got 1 health. He will die. That's 2 cards done. So Mando doesn't get to do anything this turn. We will then go on to the events. No event. This is on 5, so we will trigger an event card. So we will discard those. We will trigger spawn an enemy in your space. Oof. Okay, so IG triggered it. So we've got a reinforcement. Ooh, it's a sharpshooter. And then one blaster enemy will deal damage at range 2. So is there any that can do anything? Him, range 2, nothing. Now, how it works is if absolutely nothing on a card happens, if it changes the game in no way, you have to resort to spawning a reinforcement on a reinforcement space. But because we triggered this, that's absolutely fine. This will now discard. We now continue. That's on 4. That's on 4. Nothing happens. New round begins. We draw another 2 cards. So we have 2 Mando cards, 2 IG cards. I think IG needs to do stuff. Now, we know this is a powerful melee enemy, so do you know what we're going to do? And we can attack tokens. IG is going to attack. We're going to slap a massive 4 onto this. We flip it. It's 5. He's still alive, but we have dealt 4 points of damage to that enemy. Wow, he's big. I thought I would have killed him there. I thought he had 4, but it's fine. Mando's turn. Mando kind of needs to start moving. So Mando is going to use this 3 to put that into move. And we need to trigger skill card. Reduce it by that number. Reduce it by 2. That is terrible. We only get to move 1. Okay, that is 2 action cards done. We move on to events. This is a crisis because it's at 7, which means we place a token on this. This will trigger. When 3 tokens are here, remove them and spawn 1 reinforcement in the star space with the fewest enemies. So we will spawn that guy there. Oh, he's a big melee dude. We will then reset that and it will go again. We now trigger an event for this, so we will bin these off. That now disappears. Those go into discard. We will trigger an event. A blaster enemy moves 1 space. Do we have any blaster enemies? Yes, we do. He will move a space. And then a blaster enemy. 2 blaster enemies. 2 move 1 space. Sorry, I'm getting that totally wrong. Now, 2 blaster enemies will attack at range 2. He can't hit anything, but he can. So he's going to hit IG for a point of damage. Blast. That is done. We then move on to the next one. No event, no event, no event. Awesome. New round begins. We draw 2 cards. Same again, we've got 2 IG cards and 2 Mando cards. Right, we really need to be dealing with these enemies. Mando is 1 space away. So, we really don't. If we have a look at the next one that's going to trigger, he's probably more of a threat than the blaster pistol. But we do need to start looking at these tokens as well. But if we do another plan or an intel, we are going to trigger events. So I think it's best that we kill some enemies. So IG. My guy IG is going to have to waste. God, they are really good cards. Really good cards. Oof. Yeah, IG is going to be taking some hits. So I think IG is going to have to use this one into the attack. We're going to finish off this guy. So he dies. That's one card done. Mando, shall we actually start doing stuff while we can? What are we thinking? Could we do... If we did Intel 3, we're not within 3 spaces. Oh, I should have stated as well, this guy has Overwatch. On the last turn, I ended one space. Within one space of him, I would have taken a point of damage. So I would have used Defend to soak up that damage. So just so we know. So I don't have that anymore. I think Mando's just going to move into the space. That'll do. And because I'm technically ending my movement within one space, I will unfortunately take a point of damage, but it's fine. We're kind of in the position. Turn done. Let's go to events. Nothing. This will trigger a crisis, so we'll put a damage token on. Then we will discard them, and we will trigger an event. Ooh, 2 sharpshooters or blaster pistols move 3. I think it's going to be the pistols. They're going to have the best benefit, so they'll move 3. So we'll start with this guy, and we can move them anywhere. I think we're going to move them to Mando. 1, 2. So we're in there. 1, 2. Ooh, 3. Yeah, we'll get them all into Mando. That's pretty dangerous. Then 1 melee enemy will attack at range 0, so nothing triggers there. If no enemies attacked, it means this is then going to go on to the thing. When you play a skill card here, if this action slot has 6 or more strength, spawn a reinforcement. That is disgusting. Wow, we don't like that. Nothing triggers there. Nothing triggers there. Next turn begins. We will draw some cards. They are all Mando now, of course. Ooh, 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 ooh. That looks beautiful, my friend. That looks beautiful. We are going to play Mando Flamethrower. So, first of all, we get the strength 2. So, we're going to do this smart, guys. I'm going to hit him for 2. Putting him down to 1 health. Then we get to Flamethrower because it's on the same slot. Deal 2 damage to an enemy in your space in addition to performing this action. Oh, no. I thought it was going to deal 2 damage to everyone. Ignore me. I'm not being smart. We're going to do the base 2 on him. He would die. Then the Flamethrower will do it on him. He would die. So we killed 2 of them. There we go. We're getting there, guys. We did it. We did it. So 2 more guys are dead. That's probably the best outcome. This doesn't trigger because we're not on strength 6. So that's one action done. So Mando's done an action. IG can't attack this turn now, though, so we kind of need to do something. Problem is, when we move into a space with a token, we have to flip it. If it's an enemy, turn ends. So I think we are going to have to... Ooh. We could move Mando, to be fair. He's not moved yet. Yeah, you know what? Should we get him down there? I mean, IG would be taking some hits if we do move far away, which probably not the best thing to do. No, you know what? We're actually going to... We're going to use Intel. Mando is going to use Intel at range 3. So, 3 spaces from Mando. 1, 2, 3. I get to look at this token. We'll flip it over. It is one of the bunker access keys. So, we now know we need that. But that is our turn done. Time to crisis. Nothing. Crisis. So, we'll do that. Then we'll discard. And we'll pull an event. Ooh, ambush. Okay, reinforce the nearest star space. So the nearest star space is technically this one. So that goes there. Awful. And then 1 sharpshooter attacks at range 3. Sharpshooter there. He is going to hit IG. IG is going to take a point of damage. Now remember, with this game, guys, if one of us dies, it is mission failed. IG's taken 3. He's down to 5 health. Okay, then we go to plan. Nothing changes. We draw 2 cards. IG's got no cards left. That is the deck empty. So we are got IG's got a card, sorry. Right, we need to figure out what we want to do. What is a sneak attack? So that's a move, but it's an attack as well. So we get to move, then deal 2 damage to an enemy in your space. Use this before resolving enemy abilities. Right. I think... Okay, yeah, we're doing this. We're going to sneak attack. Mando is going to move 2. So he's going to go 1, 2. I have ended a move within Overwatch. So I will take a damage. Or within Sentry, same kind of thing. But then my sneak attack will trigger. Oh, no. Read the card, Paul. Do this before resolving enemy abilities. So Sentry doesn't trigger. Get wrecked. Wow. Every game I play, I always get something wrong. But you know what? We're having a fun time. I hope you guys are having a fun time. So he dies. That's move done. IG now gets a turn. I really don't want to waste IG's thing. You know what? We could whack an attack on there, but it would spawn a reinforcement, so I don't really want to do that. So you know what? We're going to have to use it. IG is going to use a... what we're going to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. IG is going to use Intel, because then IG can look at this token up here. There's the other bunker access. Beautiful. Right, guys, we know where they both are. Okay, action's done. Time to crisis. Nothing triggers, nothing triggers, nothing triggers, nothing triggers. Deck has run out, so we shuffle. And then we draw 2. 1, 2. Okay. I'm really enjoying this. I'm really enjoying this. Okay, so... Mando. I think... Ooh, we need the bunker access. We kind of need to stop. We need to stop these guards rinsing us. Okay. Yeah, Mando's going to move. He's going to do move 1 into that space. We flip it. We know it is a bunker access code, so we will pop that onto our dashboard. We've got half of the codes we need to finish the mission, guys. But that is move done. We could attack. I think IG does an attack, and we can shoot through this. So IG is going to slap an attack there. This won't trigger because it's not strength 6. Strength 3 attack at range 1. He dies. Farewell, sharpshooter. That is our turn done. We will now trigger events. No event. Do have event, but no crisis. So we'll discard those. We'll draw this event card. Melee moves up to 3 spaces. So he's going to target the closest. So Mando is absolutely going there. Then we have a sharpshooter or a blaster attacking at range 2. It's one of these two. Mando's going to take it. Range 2. Pow pow. Shot to Mando's face. Done. We then... Oh, that discards as well because the event triggered, which is beautiful. So we didn't really have any upsetting stuff. No trigger, no trigger. We draw 2 cards. We get 2 IG cards. Do I keep saying IG88? I do apologise. I've just realised it's IG11. It's not IG88. That guy's somewhere else. 4 damage. Ooh. When performing this action, split damage. No, we don't need to do that. Okay, you know what? Mando's going to go straight in with a strength 4 attack. Melee, dead. Farewell. And now it's IG's turn. IG is going to move. We're going to slap that on there for a move 3. 1, 2, 3. We flip that token. We now have both access codes to the door. This door is now unlocked, meaning we can now go through this in terms of if we need a line or sight or whatever. But we can't go through walls. Right, okay, that's our turn done. Time to event. We do have a crisis, unfortunately, because that is a total of 7. So we discard those. We put a token on here, but then they will remove. That means we spawn a enemy on the star space with the fewest enemies. Ooh. Wow, both of those have sentry. Even a melee guy has sentry. That's awful. Okay, no trigger, no trigger, no trigger. We will draw 2. Mando card and a Mando card. Right, we need to get in here now. We're so close to the end, guys. We just need to get into the asset space and finish the mission. Those are some big cards. Dual blasters. When performing this action, split damage as you choose between 2 threats within range 1. It's not massive, but you know what? That's probably... Ooh, we've only got 1 card though, so I don't think we can. Okay. Right, because the door is open now, I'm pretty sure we can count range of our intel through this door now to kind of see who it is. So we would count, if it was for Mando, 1, 2, 3, 4. If we played intel that way, I'll just double check. Okay, good news, guys. We can count range through this now because that is an unlocked door. I think the best thing to do right now is we do intel 4 for Mando and we count 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3. Now, where do we go? I'm feeling this one. Oh, we've got it. Okay, so there is the asset. We know where it is now. We don't need to trigger the enemy over there. Right, that is the target. This is going to trigger a crisis, though. But now we have 1 action left. It's not the best because nothing... We can't really do anything. If I move into there, Sentry's going to trigger twice on these bad guys. So, at the minute, I think we are going to do this. It is a 6. It will be another crisis, but it means I get to look at the top 2 cards of the deck. Keeping one of them. Bad luck is trash. Strategize. During your turn, discard this to draw 2 skill cards and perform 1 additional action. That is insanely good. Bad luck goes to discard. That is our turn done. We then go across. So, this is 8. Crisis. Then an event. So, we'll draw that. Oof. Oh my god. This is terrible. Spawn on the nearest. Spawn on the other. Wow. Just doubled their reinforcements there. Oh lord. Nothing there. Nothing there. Same again. We have a crisis. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We will bin that token off now. Discard those and we will event again. At close quarters combat, the nearest enemy moves 1 space toward you. Then, if it is in your space, it attacks. Nearest enemy. He's going to move 1. Doesn't attack. Oh, we draw 2. I think we're going to trigger Mandalorian Strategize. During your turn, discard this to draw 2 skill cards and perform 1 additional action. So 2 more skill cards. So guys, we've got a big hand here. So we can do 3 actions essentially. We still can't do the same action twice, but we kind of need... We really need to get rid of this bad guy. Move, deal a point of damage to deal 2 damage to a threat within range 1. Use this before resolving enemy abilities. Right, okay, you know what? As mad as it is, IG is going to use Draw Their Fire. He gets to move 2. Oh no. I'm going to choose not to move anything because it will hurt me there, but I will take a point of damage to deal 2 damage to an enemy within spaces. So, he takes 2. 1 action done. Next is Mando. Mando is going to do an attack 3, which will kill him. Discard that. But then we get 1 action left, so we've got an intel or a plan. Do we even want to do that? We kind of want this guy to move up to us. That's the thing. There's a lot of enemies right now. Oof. You know what? Even if you already performed it, I'm keeping calculated risk. Plan 2. IG is going to draw 2 cards. We've got Mobilize and we've got Bad Luck. So we keep Mobilize. So Mobilize is the discard this during actions to move to 2 spaces, ignoring enemy abilities. Ooh. I think IG is going to take a lot of damage here, but I could move him here, ignoring abilities, but then they would potentially attack him. You know what? I think it's worth it. We're going to discard that. We need to get him up there. Bonk, bonk. We don't take any sentry damage, which is superb. That is incredibly good. That's all of our actions. We now go on to the event. So nothing there. We do have a crisis, unfortunately. So again, 3 hit that. We will reinforce the closest space. That is disgusting. Then we will event. Deal 1 damage to any character. I'm dealing 1 damage to Mando, and we will discard that. Then we go across, nothing else happens. That is superb. We'll draw back up to 4. We only draw 1 this time. Right, we really need to do some stuff. Right, we've got an idea, guys. Here's a funky one. IG is going to use dual blasters. When performing this action, split the damage as you choose between 2 threats at range 1. Kill both of those. They die. Farewell. Blast, 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 blast. Then, do emergency repairs. Heal 1 damage from any character in your space that has 2 or less remaining health. We can't do that yet. We're saving that. Calculated risk could be cool. Yeah, we're going. I think we're going to trigger calculated risk, which is it goes into intel, meaning secret look at 3 tokens face down. It doesn't matter. Or I can target an enemy and move him a space. So he's 3 spaces away. I'm going to make him move a space away like that because that's funny. Intel triggers. Deal yourself a point of damage to perform a strength 3 action, even if it's been performed already. I'm going to perform an attack at strength 3, meaning we destroy that melee guy because he was looking pretty deadly. And the best thing is it doesn't add a card to it. It just performs it for free. Absolutely superb turn, guys. Absolutely superb turn. We now go to the threat assessment. Nothing, 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 nothing. Our turn begins. We draw 2. Oh, it's looking good. Right, we have 2 Mando, 2 IG. Right, what are we doing? What are we doing? I think at this point, we need to just get the heck into the thing. What's the wink on? Capture the asset. A character is in the asset space found on a triangle threat at the end of any player's turn. Right, IG. IG is going to do a move 2. So we go 1, 2. There we go. There is the asset. We essentially just need to end the turn now. And then Mando will just... So where's the... Oh, we've still got to end the actual turn though. So we've still got to survive. That's the thing. Oh, okay. I'm gonna put intel there. I get to move 1 space ignoring enemy abilities. So I'm going to move him a space because an enemy within 4 spaces move at space. And then as a bonus, I get to move a space. I'm then going to move on to the events. Nothing triggers, crisis triggers. So we do that. Then we discard. Then we draw an event. On the hunt, each enemy not within range 3 of the near... Oh, wait, no, we spawn first. So, oh my god. So we spawn a reinforcement on the starting space. Then each enemy not within range 3 of the nearest character moves 3 towards them. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Wow, that's a really cool card. Then this goes on to the space. During this action, after you use a skill card's ability, deal 1 damage to any character. After you use a skill card's ability... Oh, that's awful. Right, but that is turn end. We have ended with the asset on our space. We have survived. Mission 1, Bounty on Avala 7 is complete.
This is the way.
And that is episode 1 complete, my friends. And we now move to the campaign guide deck. And we will flip this now. After you complete your first game, win or lose, flip this card and follow the instructions. So... End of first game. Congratulations on completing your first game. Add the following 13 cards of the guide deck to your game. These cards are used in all future games, even if they refer to components not used in every mission, such as the child. We now gain 2 rules cards. These describe new game rules. Read both sides of the card aloud, and 8 skill cards and 3 event cards. Shuffle these into their matching deck. So let's take a look at these. So, new rules cards. Oh, this is an example for tactical skill cards. During the event step, both of these action slots have 5 strength, and each will cause an event. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, flip that. Oh, no, sorry, yeah, so it should have been that way first. New rule tactical skill cards. Some skill cards have the Longhorn, I think it's called, or Bighorn icon in the upper left corner. These cards have powerful abilities but strength 0. When you play a tactical skill card to an action slot, do not use that action's ability. You may use the skill ability if you played it on the action slot listed on the card. During your event step, treat this action slot as if it had exactly 5 strength, regardless of other cards and tokens. So then the example would trigger. During the event step, both of these action slots have strength 5 and each will cause an event but no crisis. So yeah, that's 5, but this one here will be a power 5, but you treat the total thing as 5. So it would trigger an event but no crisis. That is really, really cool. Okay, next card. Is it this side? Rescuing the child. Some missions use the child token. When you perform any action in the child space, you may rescue it. Place a child token on your character card. You are now carrying the child. You may do this at any time during the action, even when moving through the child token space. You cannot rescue the child if it is carried by another character or enemy. When an enemy carrying the child is defeated, drop the child in its space. You cannot intentionally drop the child or give it to other characters. Interesting. You also cannot rescue the child if it fled this turn. See the back of this card. Okay, so the child flees. If you are dealt damage while carrying the child, it flees to an adjacent space. It must flee to a space containing an enemy or face-down threat token. Damn, if able. If you block all damage, for example with the defend, the child does not flee. You continue carrying it. That is cool. Some events can also cause the child to flee without dealing damage. Simply follow the rules above. See page 14 of the rulebook for more details. Okay, so these are the new cards that we will be adding into the game. And following on from the mission setup of the narrative log in the Clan of Two expansion rulebook, we will now be adding Whistling Birds to the Mandalorian deck. So Mando gets this shuffled into the deck. IG-11 gets base function. We should read what they do actually. Let's go back. So as an attack, so you treat it as 5. Deal 5 damage, split as you choose between any threats within range 1. That is insane. Look at the artwork. So base function. For each damage on IG-11, deal 1 damage to a threat within range 2. You may damage the same or different threats. That is nuts. So the more he's taken, the more he does. Then we have cards for new characters who are going to come into play. We have a jetpack for, I think that's Tar Vizsla. Rising Phoenix. Bear with me a sec. Yes, so Rising Phoenix. There's information about this in the new narrative log. So when we set up this game, it did state that we remove Rising Phoenix because we are following the storyline of the TV show as canonically accurate as possible. We will not gain Rising Phoenix until we complete a later mission, but we'll tick it off on the log and we'll get there when we get there. Next we have Come Here Little Mousey for a new character, and then we have Triggerman, You Deserve This, Drum Blaster, that's Cara Dune, Paid Off for, is that Grief Karga? Some new other new cards that go into the event deck. Curiosity. The child flees unless the character carrying the child discards one of their planning cards, regardless and resolve an additional event. That is awful. Exploit Weakness. Oof. 3 of either. Move up to 2. And even on a crisis. So this is the first card that triggers an additional crisis thing as well, not just an event. Deal 1 damage to his character carrying the child if able, so you would drop him. Priority target. If a character is carrying the child, these enemies can only attack that character. Ooh, okay, so that is the pile of cards for the next mission. Stop. When you are ready to play your next game, either set up mission 2 or replay mission 1. We're doing the narrative playthrough, so we're obviously going to go on to mission 2. For an additional challenge, use standard difficulty. Ooh, see rulebook number 2. So standard difficulty, essentially, guys, is we flip from novice to standard, meaning we lose some health. But we'll figure that out when we get there. We may do a vote, we may do a poll. After you complete your second game, win or lose, flip this card. So we will actually stop there. So we've got a lot of stuff to put into this deck, and I will prep that behind the scenes. It will be ready to go for the next video. So all I've got left to say is thank you so much for watching, my friends. I really hope you enjoyed this game. This is a really, really fun board game. It's nice to dive into something different as well after months and months on the same game. Not that we don't like it. We love the Metal Gear Solid board game. It is one of the best things I've ever played through. But we're in a Star Wars mood right now, and this is the new campaign series. So, again, I hope you've enjoyed it. Please leave a like on the video. I'll see you in the comments. Let me know what you think of this. Are you looking to pick this up? Do you want some more information about it? And again, I'm rambling. Also, please check out the channel membership option. It's a great way to support the channel. I am an independent channel. None of these are sponsored, and the memberships is really helping going towards providing new content, including the Clan of Two expansion pack for this game that I picked up. That is thank you to all of the support with the super chats and the channel membership. So it is going places, it is doing things. And again, I'm rambling. I'll see you in the next video. Have an awesome one.